Good evening, Boro fans. Welcome to BoroFanTV and welcome back to Jimmy Lees. Nice to have you on the show tonight,
Cheers,
Jimmy.
Mate. Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us on the third half. Tonight's show, we're going to look back at Saturday's game at Brentford at Griffin Park. Were you happy with the outcome, fans? Do you think it was a good result, or do you think it was maybe 2 points dropped? The continued strength displayed by the defence, in particular the contributions of Darren Randolph, Ben Gibson and Adam Clayton. And with Boro taking a back seat for the next week, I'd like your thoughts on the international break and that of Patrick Bamford, who may be getting a call up in the near future to the Republic of Ireland squad. Thanks again to all those people who contributed to last Monday's show. This week, if you want to get in touch and let me know your favourite ever Boro goal, let us know what it is and why. We can take contributions from YouTube now, because I've been made aware that not only have we been getting contributions off Facebook, but we haven't been getting them off YouTube. So if you send your questions in on YouTube, Owen's going to wing them across to us and we'll try and have a chat about those as well. So Jimmy, welcome back first of all.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
Yeah. When you were last here, Gary Monk was in charge. And since then, Tony Pulis has taken over.
Yes, mate.
Did you see that one coming?
Nah, not at all, mate. So the last show I done was the Monday before the Chef Wed game.
Right.
And so we had a good conversation at the time. And I said, what I was going to do at that time, I'd sack Gary Monk. Right. Only because I could see what was happening to the club, what was happening under Gordon Strachan in regards to the fans getting disengaged.
Right.
And we couldn't afford, after our investment in the summer, for our crowds to really dwindle next season, to get sub 20,000 attendances. We couldn't afford that.
Yeah.
So which is why I think Gibson acted, not because he listened to me, because no one listens to me, but I think he was looking at, right, I learned from a mistake from the whole Gordon Strachan debacle. I need to act quickly. That's the reason he went. I was surprised at the timing, certainly after a good comeback away win at Sheffield Wednesday.
That's right.
Surprised by the timing, but I think it had to happen. I don't think anyone.
You don't think they would have made the playoffs this year if Monk had still been in charge?
No. We were way too inconsistent. So we go have like a really good performance against Sheffield Wednesday, and then we play someone garbage at home and not do very well. It's like we were beating the dross.
Yeah, that wasn't the problem, was it?
Relatively comfortably. But you look at the games, like, so Tony Pulis had him on the team for a couple of weeks and we've come back from 2-1 down to win 3-2 at Preston.
Yeah.
No, he was making changes. He could see there's certain players who came in for a lot of money, mainly the likes of Son Bologna and whatnot, weren't performing.
Yeah.
Monk would still play him.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Excuse me, here, things starting early.
So, with Tony Pulis in charge, do you think
mate.
things have turned out as you expected they would?
I expected us to be challenging for the top 6.
Yeah.
I think he's made some good decisions in regards to taking players out of the team, but also he's one major decision he's made recently has been mainly through luck. Because if we were talking 5 weeks ago, was Patrick Bamford going to be a starting number 9?
Not a chance in the world, was it?
No, he was
there was
going
one man nailed on for that job.
And then when Gusted got injured, Son Bologna started against Sunderland. And then as soon as Bamford went up top, I was like, oh, hey. Oh, this like a play up front. Yeah. I wonder why he scored 19 goals a couple of years back. So that was the major thing that's happened, and that's been mainly luck. But you can see we're looking like a Pulis team now. A very combative midfield, very, very good back four, and not good on the break.
I think maybe people are a little bit surprised. I know that was one of the grumbles when Pulis got the job, was about won't score many goals, it'll only be from set pieces. Been rattling the goals in for fun the past month, haven't they?
Yeah, well, the first half of the season we had one person score goals, and if he didn't score, we didn't score.
Yeah.
Now we're getting goals from other parts in the Chiore, it's unbelievable. He's scoring goals every other week. Obviously, you've just had Bamford's recent run in regards to scoring goals. It's just looking good. Yala's got a few. Yeah. We're looking dangerous from set pieces and whatnot. We're scoring more goals than what we were previously.
Yeah. I mean, if you look back at the summer, the transfer dealings, £30 million alone was spent on Son Bologna, Fletcher and Braithwaite.
Yeah.
There's a real possibility those 3 players probably won't be here come August.
Yeah.
Do you think that's evidence of, like you said earlier on, referring to like the Strachan transfer policy, of a botched policy last summer?
Well, recruitment hasn't been right for a while, has it? Let's be honest. As soon as Victor Orta kind of took over things, we were signing some weird players like Kike Solar and things like that. Like, it just made no sense. And then our January transfer window, the season previous in the Premier League, was absolutely abysmal. The recruitment hasn't been right for a while now. Whose fault that is? Did we put too much trust in Gary Monk in August, or was that mainly through the recruitment team and Gary Gill and a lot? We don't know. I think it was mainly Gary Monk, to be honest. But it was a complete botched job, and the person who was, first of all, Monk was trying to ship him out in regard to Patrick Bamford, and I think Tony Pulis wasn't overly keen either in January, and he's ended up being our main striker.
Yeah, you almost lost Stuart Downing in the summer, who again has gone on to have a really good season. So again, it all points to maybe things weren't right at the top last summer.
No, it certainly wasn't. I think it's Gary Monk's biggest job he's had.
Yeah.
Okay, he's been at Leeds United, who were a big club, and the Premier League club of Swansea, but I don't think he's been at a club where expectations were as high.
That's the key word, isn't it? Because people did expect, whether rightly or wrongly, they expected us to be challenging this year.
Yeah. I expected to be challenging for top 6, and I don't think we were under Gary Monk. No. We would. I think we'd be doing a Leeds United at this point. We where Leeds are now.
Yeah, on the coattails, and maybe looking at saying you're maybe 4 or 5 points away, but not convincing that you're going to get there. Yeah. So if we look at Saturday, we went to Brentford, and the game followed the pattern of so many games at Brentford over recent seasons. As we said at the top of the show, do you see it as a point gained or maybe 2 dropped, Jimmy?
Absolute point gained, mate. I don't think you can look at any other way. I mean, Yusuf on his interview with BoroFanTV mentioned teams like Brentford. Teams like Brentford are good footballing teams who keep the ball very, very well, move the ball very quickly, which means it's very difficult to get them on. If you have a good back four, restrict them to shots from outside the box, you've had a good game. And that's how they got the goal, ultimately. But they didn't have any huge chances. I thought it was a good performance from us.
And like you say there's so many teams, there's not many teams who you could write off and say the mug sides in the Championship. And especially on the home turf. You go there, you have to earn a win, don't you? And to get a point there at Brentford, who I think I've only lost 3 home games this season, it's not a result to be sniffed at, is it?
No, certainly not. I know they've got this record where they haven't won at home in March or something like that, but we didn't lose. We didn't lose. We got a point. We kept the gap between us and Brentford because we're not looking ahead now. We're looking behind us, make sure we can consolidate that top 6 position. And Brentford are one of those teams to challenge us. If we'd have lost, it'd been a really bad weekend for us. We're still in the top 6. Good
the unbeaten run's still going.
Yeah, exactly. Confidence is still high.
No, that's good stuff. Andrew Hill's coming with a question here. At the end of the season, do you think Rudy Gestede and Dale Fry will still be at the Borough?
I can't see a reason why not. I think Dale Fry definitely. I think he's probably going to have a real good important part to play for our season next year. I think a lot of that's going to be dependent on maybe Ben Gibson moving on for a fee. Danny Ayala's questionable injury record. Rudy Gestede, if we're in the Championship, he'll still be a Borough player. I think if we get promoted, I think Tony Pulis will look for Rudy Gestede to be a backup number 9 or to move him on. He'll look for maybe an improved model with the greatest respect on Gestede. Well, Rudy's never done it in the Premier League, and he's had 3 cracks of the whip now with us, Aston Villa and Cardiff City. Not done well with either.
I'm just laughing at the question from Ben Carlos. No Anton Deck this Saturday. I wonder why. Ben Gibson back to his best, like you just mentioned there about Ben. He's going to be a crucial player for us now at the end of the season because we've got a lot of big games coming up where in certain stages of those games we're going to be under the cosh a bit. I'm thinking like Derby away, Sheffield United away. They're going to be games where you're going to have spells where the backs are going to be against the wall and we're going to be coming under pressure. We need him on top form, don't we?
Him and Ayala as well, to be fair, because Ayala's been immense since the turn of the year. Ben Gibson, over recent weeks, has been superb, which is good to see. He did lose his way a little bit first half of the season, but again, it's man management from Tony Pulis, defending first, Ben, and his defensive play is much better now.
Someone else coming in with a bit of Ben Carlos again about Britt. Britt is a donkey who can't score goals anymore. I think that's a bit harsh, that, because he can score goals.
Well, we don't know that because he hasn't been playing. He's had no chances, has he? If he has a chance in front of goal and misses it, fair enough. But I can't remember having the chance apart from the Aston Villa one where he put that on the crossbar. That's last chance member of him. Because
Sunderland, he looked a little bit disinterested, didn't he? He was almost.
He's not a footballer with British Sombolonga, and that's where your recruitment has to be spot on and say, okay, we're going to sign this player who's going to need support. He needs to play. British Sombolonga, play him off the shoulder or whip a ball in the box. British Sombolonga's a dangerous footballer. If you're after a centre forward to bring the midfield into the game, hold the ball, get people running off him, he's not your man. And Tony Pulis found that out straight away. So okay, he's not my man because he doesn't suit my style of football. So it's not about British Sombolonga being a bad striker.
In the right side, he'll do a good job, won't he?
And he proved that. First half of the season, he got 12 goals for us because that's how we played to his strength. When we lumped the ball up to him, he was pants because that's not what he is.
Lads, name 3 players you think will leave in the summer, excluding loanees. That's from Dean Cheatwood. 3 players who you think might leave. Again, it's a difficult question that because you don't know what division we're going to be in, and a lot will depend on what league we're in.
Yeah, that's. I think Britt Sombalong is an absolute must. I think he will go. I don't think he'd be short of suitors. Now, will we get £15 million back from him though, James? I don't know about that. Like, I think it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
Martin Braithwaite, can we count him because he's still a Middlesbrough player?
Yeah.
I think he'll be gone, and I think we'll struggle to keep Mo Besic.
Yeah.
I do think we'll struggle to keep him.
We had a chat on here last week, the lad who was on with me, Chris, and we were saying about Traore. I think we're going to struggle to hold on to him this summer. And it's not because we want to sell him, because we don't want to sell him, but I think there may well be some ridiculous offers coming for him in the summer.
Yeah, it's going to be one of them. I think if we get promoted, we've got a chance of keeping him. You can flash back to all the stuff I was saying first half of the season. Obviously I was completely wrong. Shows I don't have a clue what I'm talking about. But no, if we don't get promoted, mate, we have no chance of keeping the lad. But we can. Now he's been called to Sweden on the 21 squad as well.
Yeah.
He's going to get more exposure over there.
That's it.
We could demand quite a bit of money and potentially get it as well.
Yeah. And that's it. And I think you've hit a good point there about if he's in the Premier League, or if we go up to the Premier League, there might be an opportunity for us to say, well, can we keep him on loan for a season? You can sort of like name your terms. If you're up in the Premier League, I think our hand's a lot weaker if we're still in the Championship, because the lad himself will just say, do you know what, I've got all these clubs after me offering me silly money as well as the club, and now he's looking at furthering his international career as well. He may get his head turned. But yeah, that's one for the summer. But we'll have a look at that then.
It's nice to have them assets, so isn't it?
Of course it is.
It is, because it's our previous years in the Championship, we were losing players to other Championship clubs.
Yeah.
Now it's like, okay, we've got this Adama Traore player now. We could potentially get £20 million plus for that. Yeah. I'm not going to say it's stupid when we're like 40, 50.
No.
I mean, that's obscene, but no, we haven't had this before.
No, but like you said there earlier, Jimmy, and everyone was saying it, before Christmas, we were saying, no, that lad's just not a footballer. He hasn't got a footballing brain. He's got all the pace in the world, but there's no end product.
Yeah.
You weren't alone in saying that. I think the vast majority was saying that. Yeah. It's in the last 3 months, it's all turned round.
Yeah.
And now he's like a different player, isn't he?
It's unbelievable. And I go as far to say now, if we didn't have a Adama Traore in our team, we would be pants. Like, we would be really, really bad. Yeah. And we'd have nothing to give. And imagine saying that 3-4 months ago.
Yeah, I know.
I'd be shot.
Yeah, it'd been frightening, isn't it? To think you're basing all of your attacking play around that man and thinking he is such an important part of that squad.
Yeah.
But talking about other squad members, I know we had a little bit of a debate before we came on air tonight about Adam Clayton.
Yes.
I thought the game on Saturday, obviously, is his type of game. Away from home, I think he is a better player than he is in home games. But do you think he's got a crucial part to play in the running?
Yes, he has. I'll be honest, I haven't been a big fan of Adam Clayton this year. And watching the show when I had you on when I was in your chair, mate, I constantly ranting about him because I felt he wasn't giving anything. Adam Clayton looked like one of those players he didn't want to be here. I think he was upset with the management at the time. Like, he'd looked like he was close enough to being involved in the games, but he just wasn't. Yeah. But when he came back, so Leeds United game, for example, when he came on for Levitt was injured, I thought he was brilliant that game. Yeah. And Birmingham City away, I thought he was really, really good then. And the home game after that one, who was it?
Barnsley.
Superb against Barnsley. Yeah. Absolutely superb. And he was getting the ball, he was looking to make something happen. Adam Clayton 2-3 seasons ago. Yeah. But Brentford, he was pants. He wasn't very good at Brentford. He just looked a bit off the pace. I thought he was getting overrun too easily. Because that lad Woods in the middle of them is a superb footballer. Very busy, gets moving about quite quickly and gets involved, but he's not harsh, he's not bad in the tackle either. And Clayton was letting the ball go a bit too easily at times. He wasn't making the right passes. He was losing the ball a lot, but also giving away some silly fouls as well. I thought he got overrun on Saturday, but I do prefer our midfield. As much as I love Grant Ledbetter as a captain and as a leader, I prefer our midfield with Clayton and then you've got Hutchinson and Besic in front of him. I think it's a better shape. Because Adam Clayton's really good at that job when he's got a good support. When he's going in deeper than the centre halves and whatnot, that's appalling. It should never be happening. If he's in that position and you can see Tony Pulis is asking Adam Clayton to play that ball forward a bit more. He's doing it. Sometimes it's going to go wrong. That's okay, as long as he's looking at more go right than wrong. You
can live with that, can't you?
Yeah. And Adam Clayton's a fantastic passer of football. Use it to his advantage, but it looked like he'd had the fear of life coached into him.
Because at Huddersfield, we were told when he came here, he was an attacking midfielder. He did score goals at Huddersfield.
He told that with Nicky Bailey before as well, mate. Remember what happened with him?
Nicky Bailey, I'll give you that one. But and it's almost like he's changed as a player, and now it's going to take a while for him to get sort of back into, right, do I need to do this? What am I doing? What is my role in the team?
Yeah, absolutely. And you've got to think of it like a football player, like, there's odd ones. You've got some players where you just get on the football pitch, do what you want.
Yeah.
At our level, it's not. You do what the manager tells you to do.
Yeah.
And Adam Clayton's been told, for whatever reason, just don't try and play football. Job. Yeah, just play the ball sideways. Don't get involved in the tackle. Yeah. I don't know whether he saw that on Gary Monk. I don't know. And obviously he's had some fear coaching from the Cranker days because everyone was scared of losing the ball there.
Yeah.
Adam Forshaw went from this competitive forward ball playing midfielder to suddenly like, Jesus Christ, I dare pass it now.
Yeah.
I daren't do anything. So get Adam Clayton back to being a footballer. I think we've got a hell of an asset on our side. Yeah. That was the most frustrating thing I found with him is I knew he can do it, but I just never seen it.
Yeah.
Never seen it over the first half of the season.
Going back to Gary Monk, one of his probably better signings was Darren Randolph, I think.
Yeah, for sure, bargain.
And again, he had another big performance on Saturday, pulled out some great saves to make sure we got that point. Been impressed with him this season, Jimmy?
Yeah, massively. Now, as a goalkeeper, you're going to have mistakes in your game. Because if you are a keeper, it's impossible for you never to make a mistake. David De Gea makes mistakes. But the only thing with keeper, if you do make a mistake, is it generally leads to a goal because you're the last line of defence. But he has got us more points than he's cost us for sure.
Definitely.
He hasn't lost us a game, Darren Randolph, but he saved us games, such as Saturday.
Yeah. Another one here. All the comedians are coming out tonight.
Now we're then.
Darren Gibson. Make him play for Sunderland. That's the most ideal punishment for his...
Was this for Sunderland?
No, Darren Gibson. Make him play for Sunderland after what he did at the weekend.
Oh, Jesus Christ,
yeah.
I think that's probably the reason he done it. He didn't want to play again, did he?
That's one way of getting out of playing a match like that, isn't it?
Yeah, I tell you what, with it, I'm going to be controversial. I'm going to start getting slated. I proper feel for Sunderland fans.
Well, do you know what? It's a fair point, and I know where you come from. There's a rivalry, and we don't like them. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but that club, it looks like there's no end in sight of their problems there, does it?
No, the reason I look at that is like if it was happening to a Chelsea or an Arsenal, no one of these posh clubs where everyone's got loads of money, the football, we'll go to football for the afternoon, shall we, Daddy? Like, no, that's their carry on. Sunderland, it's a working class city, whereas like if we've got that football club, they've got nothing in that city, nothing, and that's the life. Like as we are, if Boro lose on a Saturday. No, I don't want to talk to anyone.
Yeah.
It affects you that much, and it does with them. When you see that happen to working class people who put their hard-earned money every year in that football club just to get treated like that, it's appalling.
I think that's the first time I've gone to Sunderland and ever noticed the atmosphere as low and as dead as it was when we were there last month. I've never known it like that at Sunderland. It's almost like the fans are resigned to it, and it's just like, it is awful. They are very passionate, very supportive of the club, but it just seems as though all interest and everything's just getting ripped out of that club.
They give up, and when you got hope, you got nothing.
That's a fair point about Sunderland. Just getting back to the Brentford game, viewers, what do you think? Do we think we've found the right blend in that midfield now? Let us know. We've got 8 games left to try and seal this place in the playoffs. So, do you think we've got the right midfield in place now? Is there anything you'd change, or would you bring in, or would you drop? Let us know. In the press conference on Saturday, Jimmy, after the game, Tony Pulis mentioned his concerns with regards to the treatment that Adama Traore's getting off defenders, and saying that the match officials need to step up a little bit now and offering more protection. Do you think that's a valid point?
100%, because it's not like little niggling fouls. They are chopping him down. They are chopping him. I mean, the last 2 games, he's been sent like spiralling all over the place. Like it's not on. Like he's deliberately trying to hurt another human being. Like it's not on that. Like it isn't. It's like if you're not good enough to stop him, you're not good enough. Don't try and break his legs because of that.
I mean, that tackle at Sunderland, going back to Sunderland again, that was horrific. That was
disgusting. He needs a longer ban from that. Like you're purposely trying to hurt someone.
Well, he got sent off again at the weekend. That same lad, didn't he?
Again, another one doesn't want to play there. And he Adam Clayton's odd little niggly fouls, which he used to do quite cleverly. Like, if someone's breaking, I'll just stick my leg out.
They take one for the team sort of fouls.
They're trying to hurt Traore, and that's not on. You're trying to hurt another, not another football, another human being. That's not on, is it?
Callum Jones has just made a point there as well about Traore. Do you think we have a plan B? Because a lot seems to go through Traore at the minute.
That's my worry. I don't think we do.
And if he doesn't perform, is there anything else that we've got?
We're lucky he's performed that well. Tony Pulis isn't daft. I'm pretty sure we'll have a plan B. But I just don't think we've had to see it yet because Traore's been everything for the last few weeks. He hasn't had a crap game, has he?
No, he hasn't. And I mean, the thing is, we've always got like set pieces to fall back on because we look more of a threat with set pieces. I think we're also a little bit...
He's taking corners.
Well, that's it,
He's
I know.
Corners,
and the delivery's good as well. Again, normally it was like first few rows of the standings. Crosses were going in the first start of the season. But yeah, like you say, I think we've just got to enjoy him at the minute while he's here and how he's performing. It's like a different player completely. Again, Jacob Ross, good question here as well. Harrison, do you think he could potentially be that plan B? Because nobody's seen much of him yet. We don't really know.
It's a good point, yeah. It's a good point. I think we've got Downing, who everyone's saying he's not playing as well at the moment. It's not that he's not playing as well. It's just Traore's been that good.
Yeah.
He doesn't stand out as much.
Yeah.
Downing's playing well, Traore's playing well. There's no real reason to try Harrison as of yet, which is a shame on the lad, because he's coming to play some football, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I think Jacob's absolutely right what he's saying there. If one of them isn't working out, Harrison is the next option for it. It's just a question if or when we see it.
Yeah. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, most teams now are doubling up on Traore. I think Birmingham had 3 men on him at one point in their game. And it's easy to forget this is a lad who's playing probably his first full proper season in getting a full game in terms of Traore. So he's been a bit part player for teams. He's not had a full season.
He did it out last season, wasn't he? Villa wouldn't play him because the players didn't like playing with him at Villa.
So are we expecting a bit too much from him, or do you think now that the genie's out the bottle type thing and you've seen what he can do, it's hard now as fans to think, well, hang on a minute, I know what he can do, and we're seeing it now. Yeah. We want this week in, week out.
It's hard to ask him with the lads. No footballer can cope with getting 3 defenders on him. You have to be a world-class talent to deal with that week in, week out. So it's difficult to say. If you are getting 3 players on and Traore is just can't move, you can't move. Yeah. Which again, you have to look at your plan B. Is that where Harrison comes in? Possibly.
Yeah, and another one I know you mentioned in the past as well, Lewis Baker.
Yeah.
I know he's been getting on the bench again lately, but there's a lad who could offer you something off the bench.
He's a lovely player of the football. He doesn't offer much else apart from that. And the Tony Pulis midfielder has to be a good tackler and things like that. Yeah. Lewis Baker doesn't have that, but he's a lovely player of the football and he's got an eye for goal. Yeah. There was the chance later on in the Barnsley game when he broke from midfield. Yeah. None of our other midfielders would have done that, by the way. Yeah. He done that because he's looking to get in the final third and do something. But I think, I don't know why he wasn't getting played under Monk, because he would have been perfect in his system. Yeah. But I can see why he's not getting played as much by Pulis. But Pulis is giving him a chance off the bench. Yeah. He's proved himself. But he's one of these kind of luxury players that's in midfield now that not many teams in our situation can afford to really have.
And especially with the run we've got coming up now. Yeah. I think he's going to go for tried and tested, isn't he, Tony Pulis?
No. You've got players playing more advanced than Adam Clayton in regard to Besic and Hutchinson. Yeah. But them boys can tackle. Them boys will come do the defensive graft quite well as well.
Yeah. Peter Mear, I've got a gut feeling that Borough are just going to fall short this season. I hope they prove me wrong. Now, we've gone 6 games undefeated. How do you think these final 8 are going to end up? Do you think we're going to make the playoffs, Jimmy, or do you think we are just going to fall short?
Asked me 2 weeks ago, I said we're going to fall short of the playoffs.
Right.
I think we're going to qualify for the playoffs. I really do. But we're going to be playing probably either Aston Villa or Fulham in the playoffs. Yeah. Teams that have Fulham that took 4 points off us and so have Aston Villa.
Yeah. Yeah, in those games, we've not looked a million miles from. You can't say we've been outclassed in those games.
The only one where we got under the cosh a little bit was the Aston Villa game, because we were down to 10 men for quite a lot of the team, which were already getting sent off after 4 minutes. But the teams haven't outclassed us, but they are better teams than us, and that's why they're higher than us in the league. I mean, Fulham are the best team in the league. Them in Cardiff at the moment in regard to form. Playing superb football for them as well. I'd rather play Villa out the 2 of them.
Would you?
Yeah, I'd rather play Villa out the 2 of them, but I think it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, because I think the only thing with Fulham is I watched highlights of their game with QPR at the weekend, and there's sometimes, like you say, I think they are the best footballing team in the division, arguably with Wolves, but there's sometimes an over-reliant or the overplay it. Like at the back, that cost them a goal on Saturday. And that might be something that we could maybe exploit. And like you say, Villa, on the other hand, have got a lot of seasoned pros in their team, a lot of experienced players, and just casting your mind back a couple of years when we played Norwich in the playoff final, they were very much like that. Had a lot of players, a lot of big game experience, and that counts for a lot, doesn't it, in the playoffs?
It does, yeah. I think Patrick Bamford would enjoy playing against both defences, I really do. I think he'd enjoy playing against Fulham because he'll probably play a high line and try and play football. He can go and pick them little pockets behind him. But also, if he's playing against Aston Villa, I think he'd have John Terry's eyes out. He's too quick for him.
He looks like a passenger, doesn't he, when he's playing?
I think you do really well against both defences, and I think he's going to be the key, to be honest. I know we're talking about Traore a lot and whatnot, but I think Patrick Bamford is the key for us getting this, because if we play his strengths, which we have been recently, Patrick Bamford is a huge asset in this league and he will score goals, and I think that's our key to the playoffs this year.
Yeah. just another thing going on, Patrick Bamford there. He's been linked with a call-up with the Republic of Ireland squad for their end-of-season games with France and USA. That's an amazing transformation where you think, like you say, a month ago he was playing out wide. No chance of playing up front.
No.
He almost a bit like a forgotten man, really. And now he's talking about international call-ups, aren't you?
Well, he had 2 years of pretty much not playing football as well. Think about it, because obviously he had his season with us, and he went on loan to Crystal Palace, hardly played there. Went on loan to Norwich, hardly played there. Went on loan to Burnley, hardly played there. Then he signed for us in January and hardly played.
That's right.
So he had 2 years of no football, and half this season he was in out the team because no one could really think, oh, does he play? Why is he like this? Is he like that? And then suddenly he gets his favourite position. Because scoring goals.
There's a good player there, isn't it?
Well, we've seen that. We've seen that for a season, didn't we? It was a joy to watch, and he's one of those players where you knew something could happen off him.
Now this week it's the international break. Has this come at a good time for us, do you think, Jimmy, or do you think, it's just disturbed sort of like the momentum we've built up, or do you think, no?
There's an argument for both sides. I look at, we don't change our team a lot at the moment, which makes you think that there are a few tired legs in there, because we certainly got the run around on Saturday at Brentford, so the lads will be tired, and so just a couple of weeks on the grass, recharging your batteries, getting in the gym, work well. Of course, I mean, I don't know if you saw the video of Danny Alala limping in his garden last week on Tuesday. How he managed to end up playing, I don't know. I think it looked like a bad injury or a bit of gout. But he done well to play, so maybe the few lads are tired, and we get Danny Ayala fully fit and whatnot, it'll work for us. I think I'm probably 60-40 in favour of right time for us.
And talking of international breaks, will you be watching the 2 England games coming up, Jimmy? Or
I couldn't even tell you who were playing.
Right. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people. It splits opinion. There's a lot of people. I would say probably more people are just not interested by international football at all.
Not anymore. It's last time I was interested in national football was when they were touring the England team. So we had a game in the Riverside. They were playing at St James's Park Stadium, like Old Trafford and whatnot. Because you felt part of it then. Now they're playing at half-empty stadiums at Wembley. It's like, nice one.
I mean, I have massive respect. I know a few lads that go from up here to England games, and they go to away games as well, and I'm like, one, it's the finance that they're shelling out to go, but to be honest, you think you've been let down as a Boro fan down the years, but being an England supporter and watching them, dear me. But it's like...
You've got to tip you out for them, like that's fair play.
And like I said, the vast majority of people, I think, I miss me league football, on a weekend when it's international break. But it's Holland and Italy they've got next week, so I
mean, you're wrong, it's... If I wasn't watching them, we'd be watching Corrie, so we'd be watching ITV anyway.
Yeah, mate, when you like Corrie, don't you? So you're all right. Job's a good one.
But I'm more bothered about what Pat Phelan's up to be honest, mate.
So we've got that to look forward, and then obviously, after the international break, we've got the big one, Wolves. So that's going to be a massive game, isn't it?
Huge game, mate. I'm missing it. I've gave me mate tickets. I'm going away,
Right.
So gutted I'm going to be missing it, but...
You'll have Sky Sports readily available to watch it, won't you?
We're only in Nottingham that night, it should be all right. So... it's going to be a massive game for us, and let's be honest, Wolves aren't playing brilliant in the moment, are they? It's they're kind of doing with a Boro because they're walking away at Christmas, and then the wheels have fallen off, which we done a couple of years back, and there's a hell of a chance Cardiff are going to catch them and finish first at the moment. But we'd certainly, if you taught me 3-4 weeks ago, I probably think Wolves will still beat us. I think we've got a hell of a chance of beating them. I take a point now, because it's a point won rather than 2 points lost, but we've got a hell of a chance of beating them.
And that's it. I think the league turns around that quickly, and obviously you've got the 2 games in such a short space of time. Wolves at home, Burton away. Everyone's going to be playing 2 games. Could be a lot of things changing that weekend, couldn't it?
Yeah, of course it could. And again, keep it getting beat. We'll be in there. I think that the games we really got to look at though is Sheffield United away, Derby away, Millwall at home. Those are our biggies. Big
matches. Well, what do you think, Boro fans? We've got the international break coming up. Wherever you get your football fix this weekend, hope you enjoy it. I know there's local league football on, and obviously there's the international games which will be on the television. Thanks again for coming on the show tonight, Jimmy. Mate. Really enjoyed having you on. Remember to keep up to date with all things on your favourite team on BoroFanTV, and to like, share and subscribe to BoroFanTV to be in with a chance of winning 2 season tickets for the Boro. Thanks again for watching. Until next week, from me and Jimmy, Red and White, you and me, Monday at 6, BoroFanTV.